about you, but what I'm not going to do is mess up my whole entire eating plan over the holidays. It's about to be Thanksgiving. Christmas will be here before you know it. Everybody's bringing treats and all kinds of stuff, and everyone's eating all kinds of crazy stuff. And I am not saying that I'm not going to eat any of it, but what I'm not going to do is eat all of it. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to eat my DNA over the holidays. So first of all, let me explain this. When you send in your either AncestryDNA or 23andMe DNA results to GenoPalate, they use that and they come up with a plan for you, a list of foods that your ideal foods. And you can tell them, you know, I'm a vegetarian or I don't eat dairy, and they'll figure that out for you, and they'll give you a list. Now I have this list, I printed it, I have it printed, I have it on my phone, I have it in my computer, I have it everywhere, so that when I'm shopping or when I'm meal planning, I look at that list to figure out what it is I should eat. So over the holidays in particular though, this is how I'm going to use my, my foods list. So I'm gonna go get some things for Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna have that list with me. Like, oh, for example, what kind of nuts can I eat? Oh, it says right here, almonds and hazelnuts and macadamias. That's the kind, so those are the ones that I would be more likely to choose. So it just keeps me focused on remembering what are my ideal foods and not letting that information just be in my head, but actually having it with me on a piece of paper, I'm old school, or in my phone. The second thing is that when I go somewhere, when I go to an event, a potluck, or, you know, somewhere with friends, I'm gonna bring a dish that I know is good for me. So I'm gonna make something based on my foods list that I know I can eat. So when I get there, even if there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I shouldn't be eating or don't wanna eat, I know that there's one dish there that's gonna be good for me and based on my food list. So, you know, figuring that out isn't that hard. I think what I'm going to be doing for the holidays is sweet potatoes is one of the foods that are ideal for me on my food list. And so I'm looking at different ways that I can come to events with a nice sweet potato dish. 3, the way I'm going to use my healthy food list is I'm going to stick to my eating plan that I have, and I'm going to use my food list to help me do that. But I'm also going to allow myself to have some treats. I'm not going to use it as a thing to make me feel badly about the things that I'm eating, but as a guide. So I'm gonna let myself have the, you know, the odd treat here and the odd treat there. And then on Thanksgiving and on Christmas, I'm gonna eat pretty much what I wanna eat. But the rest of the time, I'm going to use that as a guide. This is good for anybody, whether you're eating your DNA, whether you have a special eating plan or not, but this is just something that I found is, that I learned this from my mother years ago, is eat before you go out. So I know a lot of times we think, oh, there's this party tonight, or there's this potluck, or I'm going to this thing at work, and so I'm gonna go and I'll be good and hungry when I get there. That's the exact opposite thing to do. You're gonna use your healthy foods list. You're gonna eat based on your healthy foods list before you go to these events. And then when you get to the event, you're not starving. And yeah, you might have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And you might take a little, you know, have a little treat that you ordinarily wouldn't have, but you're not gonna go in there ravenous and like vacuuming up the whole entire buffet. So eat before you go so that you are not starving when you get where you're going. And I use my food list to help to remind me to do that. There are a lot of things on here that I can eat. I have a lot of food choices, and it's the holidays. And although I'm not going to go crazy buck wild and gain, you know, a whole pile of weight, I am going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to just give myself a break. That I'm going to use my, my food list that I got from GenoPalate based on my DNA. If this is something that you know are interested in doing, like I said, down below there's a link to AncestryDNA and also GenoPalate. I have a code and you'll get a discount, and this is a great time of year to do it, because even if you aren't worried about it during the holidays, you know, in January, you know what happens in January. We're all going to want to get on our healthy eating plan, and it's a perfect way to make sure that you're not wasting your time, that you're really eating the targeted foods that are right for you. Forward to working on my healthy eating plan as I eat my DNA, and I hope it's something that you find interesting and you start your own journey. And as I said, there's different ways that you can do it, but the first thing is to get your DNA and figure out where exactly you're from. And you know, it's funny about that. It's like a lot of us think we know, but we really don't. So you might have some surprises. So make sure you get that done, and I'll see you in the next video.